In a significant move that underscores the escalating tensions between the United States and China, the Senate has confirmed David Perdue as the new U.S. ambassador to China. This appointment comes amid a backdrop of intense trade negotiations and tariff disputes which have raised alarms about the potential economic repercussions for both nations. With President Donald Trump's administration ramping up tariffs currently at an alarming 145% on various Chinese goods, the stakes have never been higher. The situation has drawn considerable attention from economic experts and government officials alike. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent recently emphasized the dire consequences that these tariffs could have on China's workforce, predicting that as many as 10 million jobs could be lost if the current tariffs persist. The onus will be on them to take off these tariffs, Bessent remarked, highlighting the unsustainability of the tariff structure for China, which exports significantly more to the U.S. than it imports. He noted, "They sell almost 5 times more goods to us than we sell to them," indicating the imbalanced nature of the trade relationship. In response to the tariffs, China has retaliated by increasing its duties on American goods to 125%. The escalating conflict has prompted both nations to reconsider their trade strategies, with the U.S. administration now looking towards potential trade deals with other countries including India, South Korea, and Japan. Bessent noted that negotiations with India have shown promise, stating, "They have been the most forthcoming in terms of doing the deals." Vice President J.D. Vance's recent visit to India, where he and Prime Minister Narendra Modi discussed shared economic priorities, may signal a shift in focus for the U.S. as it seeks to stabilize its trade landscape amid ongoing tensions with China. As the economic strife deepens, Chinese state media has begun echoing historical sentiments, encouraging the public to draw inspiration from Mao Zedong's essay on protracted war. This commentary suggests that the Chinese government is rallying its citizens around the belief that perseverance will lead to eventual victory in what it frames as a defensive struggle against perceived American aggression. The situation has evolved far beyond what the U.S. side anticipated, noted an article in Beijing Daily reflecting a narrative of resilience amid adversity. The implications of these developments extend beyond immediate trade concerns, with job losses looming in China and potential shifts in global supply chains. The ripple effects of the U.S.-China trade war could reshape international economic relations for years to come. As both nations prepare for a protracted struggle, the confirmation of David Perdue as ambassador may serve as a pivotal point in diplomatic relations, potentially influencing the trajectory of trade negotiations. Looking ahead, the outcomes of these negotiations remain uncertain. The forthcoming months will be crucial as both nations navigate the complexities of their economic rivalry. With the possibility of new trade agreements on the horizon, the U.S. and its allies may seek to leverage their positions while China recalibrates its strategies in response to the evolving landscape. As both sides brace for what could be a long and arduous economic battle, the global community watches closely, aware that the consequences of this conflict could reverberate far beyond the borders of either nation. In a significant shift aimed at easing trade tensions, President Donald Trump recently signed an executive order that provides tariff relief for American automakers. This move comes as the auto industry has been vocal about the detrimental effects of steep tariffs on imported vehicles and parts, which reached up to 25%. The new order clarifies that companies already paying tariffs on imported vehicles will not face additional levies on materials such as steel and aluminum, and it also eases duties on foreign automotive parts. This reprieve follows a wave of intense lobbying from the automotive sector, which warned that continued tariff pressures could result in drastic sales declines and price hikes for consumers. General Motors (GM) has already expressed concern, retracting its forward guidance due to the uncertainty posed by these tariffs. The ongoing tariff-related uncertainty is significant enough that we cannot provide reliable guidance at this time, the company announced, underlining the ripple effects of Trump's tariff policies on corporate forecasting and investor confidence. As the auto industry breathes a sigh of relief, the broader implications of Trump's tariff strategies remain contentious. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent emphasized that the onus is on China to de-escalate tensions between the two nations, particularly after recent reports indicated that China rolled back tariffs on certain U.S. semiconductor products and pharmaceuticals. "We expect a constructive pathway forward," Bessent stated, underscoring America's position in ongoing negotiations. However, with U.S. tariffs on Chinese goods now at a staggering 145%, a dramatic decline in cargo shipments estimated at 60% has raised alarms about potential supply shortages and job losses across various sectors, including trucking and retail. Data from the U.S. trade deficit further illustrates the impact of these tariffs. The trade gap widened significantly in March as businesses rushed to import goods ahead of the anticipated tariff announcement, leading to a surge in imports that could negatively affect first-quarter GDP readings. This has created an atmosphere of uncertainty. Consumer confidence is faltering, as evidenced by a decline for 5 consecutive months, with many expressing concerns over rising prices due to the tariffs. In the midst of these challenges, Wall Street has shown signs of optimism, buoyed by hopes of broader tariff de-escalation. Stocks experienced a rebound following the announcement of tariff relief, with major indexes like the S&P 500 and Nasdaq making gains. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick claimed, "I have a deal done," while hinting at progress in negotiations with an unnamed country and indicating that significant discussions are underway with India. Yet the complexities of international trade continue to evolve. As the U.S. seeks to negotiate with 17 other major trading partners, including Japan and South Korea, the administration remains cautious, with Bessent reiterating that the focus should remain on ensuring that China takes steps to lower tariffs. "These tariffs are unsustainable," he remarked, suggesting that the long-term strategy hinges on achieving a more balanced trade relationship. Meanwhile, companies across different sectors are grappling with the implications of these tariffs. For instance, UPS announced plans to cut 20,000 jobs, anticipating a slowdown in demand primarily driven by reduced shipments from its largest customer, Amazon. The ripple effects of the tariffs have also prompted major corporations like Coca-Cola and Adidas to re-evaluate their financial forecasts amidst mounting uncertainty. Looking ahead, the delicate balance of trade negotiations will be critical in shaping the economic landscape. As both the U.S. and China navigate their competing interests, the potential for further tariff adjustments could either alleviate or exacerbate the current strain on the global economy. Analysts are closely monitoring these developments, aware that the path forward is fraught with complexity and unpredictability. In an era marked by escalating geopolitical tensions, the strategic military landscape between the United States and China has become a focal point of discussion among analysts and policymakers. Recently, Brendan Mulvaney, the director of the China Aerospace Studies Institute, provided a detailed examination of these dynamics during a presentation at Joint Base Andrews. His insights shed light on the fundamental differences in military strategy and technological development between the two nations, as well as the implications of these disparities for global security. Mulvaney's analysis highlighted how China's state-controlled system empowers it to pursue long-term strategic objectives in ways that differ significantly from the U.S. approach. He pointed out that while the United States operates within a framework of private enterprise and democratic governance, China's model integrates state-owned enterprises into its broader political and economic strategy. "They have things called state-owned enterprises," Mulvaney remarked, illustrating his point by likening them to a scenario where major American corporations like Lockheed Martin and Bank of America function as extensions of the U.S. government. This structure, according to Mulvaney, is crucial for understanding how China is able to modernize its military and technology sectors aggressively. He noted that the Chinese Communist Party plays a pivotal role in shaping national priorities, with leaders often enjoying extended tenures that allow them to implement long-term plans. For instance, Mulvaney referenced former President Hu Jintao's focus on expanding naval capabilities, which has resulted in a Chinese shipyard that now outstrips U.S. shipbuilding output. Meanwhile, current President Xi Jinping's emphasis on advancing China's space capabilities demonstrates a clear strategic vision that is translating into tangible advancements. Despite having the largest navy in the world, Mulvaney cautioned that China's maritime forces are primarily focused on regional dominance rather than global reach, unlike their U.S. counterparts. However, he expressed significant concern about China's increasing efforts to understand U.S. financial and communication systems. He drew a stark contrast between China's intelligence-gathering strategies and Russia's more disruptive tactics, suggesting that China's methods are designed for what he called intelligence preparation of the battlefield. Xi Jinping has said the first shots of the next major conflict will be in the information domain, Mulvaney stated, underlining the importance of cyber and electromagnetic warfare in future confrontations. This focus on information warfare indicates a shift in how conflicts may be initiated and fought, potentially placing U.S. infrastructure at greater risk. During a session addressing the Taiwan situation, Mulvaney emphasized the need for the U.S. to uphold shared democratic values alongside economic interests, particularly in industries like semiconductors. Interestingly, he noted that many residents in Taiwan do not perceive an immediate threat from the Chinese military, a sentiment he encountered during a recent visit. "The people in Taiwan don't feel it like you do here in D.C., especially the military," he observed, suggesting a disconnect between perceptions in Washington and on the ground in Taiwan. Mulvaney, who has extensive military experience and academic credentials in international relations, leads the China Aerospace Studies Institute (CASI), which focuses on analyzing China's military capabilities and translating Chinese military doctrine. The insights provided during his presentation are part of a broader effort to enhance understanding of China's military-industrial complex and its implications for U.S. interests. As the U.S. and China continue to navigate this complex relationship, analysts like Mulvaney play a crucial role in informing policymakers about the evolving threats and opportunities. The strategic competition between these two powers is poised to shape global dynamics for years to come, underscoring the importance of vigilance and informed strategy in maintaining a balance of power. Looking ahead, developments in both military capabilities and diplomatic engagement will be critical in determining the trajectory of U.S.-China relations and global security at large.